Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is scheduled to meet with President Donald Trump at the White House on February 4, 2025. This meeting is highly significant. It marks Netanyahu as the first foreign leader invited to the White House during Trump's second term. This signals the importance of the US-Israel relationship to the Trump administration. It also highlights the close personal relationship between Trump and Netanyahu. The meeting comes at a critical juncture for the Middle East. A fragile ceasefire is in place between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. This ceasefire came after a devastating conflict that began in October 2023. The conflict resulted in significant casualties on both sides. 1,200 Israelis were killed and 251 were taken hostage to Gaza. Over 47,200 Palestinians died, many of whom were civilians. Trump has claimed credit for the ceasefire. He attributes it to his re-election in November 2024. He argues that his victory emboldened Israel and pressured Hamas. However, this claim is disputed by many analysts. They point to the role of international mediation efforts. They also emphasize the exhaustion of both sides after weeks of intense fighting. The meeting is likely to cover a wide range of issues. These include the ongoing situation in Gaza, Iran's nuclear program, and the normalization of relations between Israel and Arab states. The meeting will be closely watched by the international community. Its outcome could have significant implications for the future of the Middle East. The current ceasefire in Gaza is the latest attempt to bring a lasting peace to the region. The ceasefire was brokered in mid-December 2024. It followed weeks of intense fighting between Israel and Hamas. The conflict began on October 7, 2023, with a surprise attack by Hamas on Israel. The ceasefire is fragile. It has already been tested by sporadic violence. Both sides remain deeply distrustful of each other. Hamas continues to demand an end to the Israeli blockade of Gaza. Israel insists on Hamas's disarmament as a precondition for any long-term agreement. Trump has expressed support for Israel's right to defend itself. He has also called on Hamas to renounce violence and recognize Israel's right to exist. However, he has not articulated a clear vision for resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His administration has been criticized for its perceived bias towards Israel. This has fueled tensions with the Palestinian leadership. The ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza is another major challenge. The Strip is home to over 2 million Palestinians. They live in overcrowded and impoverished conditions. The conflict has exacerbated the already dire situation. It has destroyed infrastructure and displaced thousands of people. The international community is providing aid to Gaza. However, much more is needed to address the long-term needs of the population. In the wake of the recent conflict, Trump has put forward a controversial proposal. He suggests relocating Palestinians from Gaza to neighboring countries. This proposal has drawn widespread condemnation. It is seen as unrealistic and potentially destabilizing. Hamas has rejected the proposal outright. It views it as an attempt to erase the Palestinian presence in Gaza. The Palestinian Authority has also condemned the plan. It sees it as a violation of international law. Jordan and Egypt, the two countries most likely to be asked to absorb Palestinian refugees, have also expressed their opposition. Critics argue that Trump's proposal is not a serious attempt to resolve the conflict. They see it as a distraction from the need for a negotiated two-state solution. They point out that the proposal ignores the historical context of the conflict. It disregards the rights of Palestinian refugees to return to their homes. Trump's proposal has further strained relations between the US and its Arab allies. It has also damaged America's standing in the international community. It has reinforced the perception that the Trump administration is biased towards Israel. This makes it more difficult for the US to play a constructive role in mediating the conflict. The upcoming meeting between Netanyahu and Trump is an opportunity to reset US-Israel relations. The relationship has been strained in recent years. This is due to disagreements over Iran and the Palestinian issue. However, the two leaders share a close personal bond. They are both strong-willed nationalists who prioritize their own country's interests. Netanyahu will be looking for reassurance from Trump. He wants to know that the US remains committed to Israel's security. He will also be seeking Trump's support for his hardline stance towards Hamas. Trump, for his part, will likely use the meeting to promote his own agenda. This includes his desire to forge closer ties between Israel and Arab states. The outcome of the meeting will depend on the dynamics between the two leaders. It will also be influenced by the wider geopolitical context. This includes the ongoing tensions with Iran and the fragile situation in Gaza. The meeting is likely to be closely scrutinized by both supporters and critics of the US-Israel relationship. Despite recent tensions, the US-Israel relationship remains strong. It is based on shared values and strategic interests. The US has long been Israel's most important ally. It provides Israel with billions of dollars in military aid every year. It also guarantees Israel's security in the international arena. Israel, for its part, is a valuable ally to the US in the Middle East. It provides intelligence and military cooperation. The two countries are likely to maintain their close relationship for the foreseeable future.